Good morning, y'all. It is 8:30 on a Saturday morning, and I'm sitting in the Kroger parking lot because I need to go in and get milk. Yesterday, I was like figuring out prices because I was going to do a Kroger pickup and I was going to do a Sam's pickup. And so I was like, okay, well, what is cheaper at Kroger right now? What would be okay for me to buy in bulk and not like completely just destroy my budget? I have something to say about that in just a minute. But so I was, I had this checkout pulled up. I had this checkout pulled up. I was removing stuff from this one and adding it to this one. And just in the scheme of things, I forgot to get milk. I had milk in the Sam's Club checkout, but I must have deleted it. I was going to put it in Kroger and then it just never happened. So hence where I am this morning. But first of all, I did go to Sam's Club yesterday, and usually I'm not able to get a lot of stuff at Sam's because when you buy in bulk, like, yeah, you can get the 20 pounds of ketchup, but then like you don't have any money for eggs or meat or anything to eat with the ketchup. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't buy 20 pounds of ketchup, but you get what I'm saying. Like if you're trying to budget, a lot of times buying bulk just doesn't work whenever you have a small budget. But I had a sweet viewer reach out to me 2 days ago, and she emailed me and she was like, I've never emailed a YouTuber before and I don't even know if this is going to get to you, but I wanted to just bless you. And I want to say thank you. I'm not going to say who you were, but you are more than welcome to put in the comments that was you. It just meant the world to me. And I do want to preface this to say that I don't make these videos so that people will bless me in that way that she did. I make these videos primarily for myself because a lot of times when I'm going through life and the struggles, that life brings, setting up my camera and talking to myself has been very therapeutic, and uploading them for other people to see, like, I really hope that it's an encouragement to you. And just you watching them and just you commenting is like such a blessing to me. So I want you to know that. I want you to know that I don't expect anyone who sees my channel to send me anything. And I have to also say that when I'm setting up my camera and talking just through what that day is bringing, it can seem like we're just like completely destitute, right? Or like we are just starving, we have nothing to eat. And that's not the truth. Okay, so we go through these like roller coasters of days, especially with the reselling that Keith does, because you have to spend money to make money, so if we just spent money on a large collection that we're going to post for sale, and eBay is not bringing in a lot of money on that specific day, then yeah, I'm having to like cut corners. I'm having to use up whatever's in our fridge and make it work, because it's probably not going to be for another day or another 2 days where we will have a genuinely like significant amount of money in the bank. Like, we are not rich by any means. Well, I actually will say we are rich in that we don't have any debt at the moment. Our car is paid off. We paid off our house. We just pay for lot rent. We live according to our means. I'll just say that. We would love for our means to be more, and the Lord always provides. So I just want to say that. I want to throw that out there. I don't want y'all to think that we are just, destitute. Sometimes I feel like it might come across that way, but I'm just setting up and filming like my emotions that I'm feeling at the moment, and that varies based on what's happening that day. And usually when I wake up the next morning, it's like, why was I so upset yesterday? I have everything that I need. And that happens every single day because God is not going to fail in providing for your needs. So anyways, that was just a long thing that I wanted to say about what happened yesterday. On the drive over here this morning, there's something about driving in the morning where I just have a lot of thoughts. I become a very thoughtful person when I'm driving in the morning. And one thing that I wanted to share with y'all is, y'all know that my oldest two children are 14 and my daughter's going to be 13 next summer. And I just want to share something. So you know how everyone is always like, just wait until they're teenagers, okay? Like, yeah, the 3-year-old is throwing a fit, but just wait until they're teenagers. I have to say that so far my experience has been like really like, I can't think of the word for it, but definitely not what I thought it would be, because I've been hyped up this whole time to be like, brace for impact, So what I've discovered, like, my intrinsic need is to feel needed. And I'm trying to still like work through this. Like, where does that come from? Like, why do I feel like it's like I value so much to feel needed? Okay, I'm not gonna cry. Why am I gonna cry? I think that's why I love like the newborn stage so much, like when they're babies, because they need me. Like, they actually like require their life is dependent upon me, and I am so needed in that season. And I just love that season so much. So then they become toddlers. They still need me because they can't fill up their juice cups or whatever. So I enjoy that season too. And then they get a little bit older to where they can make a sandwich, you know, they can help you clean up, they can put their own clothes on, and I'm not as needed as much in that season. Well, what I've discovered, which is so beautiful to me, is that my teenager, my 14-year-old and my almost 13-year-old, like, they're in this season where stuff is changing. Like, they are clearly making this giant leap from child to like adult, and there's just a lot of new stuff that they're feeling and experiencing and like going through, lots of stuff that they're grieving, that the fact that they're not going to be children anymore, and they need me again. And I love it. So like, I love this season so much. So it's almost like, you know, when they're babies and toddlers, I love it. And then another favorite season of mine apparently is when they're teenagers, because I feel like I'm needed again. And again, I need to do some heart work about like, why is it so important for me to feel needed? Like, is it selfishly rooted, you know? But then I was thinking back to like the creation of the world. Whenever God created Eve for Adam, he said, it is not good for man to be alone. So we were created out of a need, because the animals couldn't fulfill that need for Adam, but we could. And so it was like, wow, like God created me to like be the answer to a need. And sometimes as women, we can use that as a trump card, and we can use that in selfishness to turn to our husband and be like, see, you need me. And that's not what the Lord wants us to do with that. The Lord wants us to see that we are needed and to sacrificially, like selflessly fulfill the purpose that he created for us to fulfill, to be that need that our husband needs, to be that need, you know, that our children need, like fulfill the needs of the people around us in a selfless way, like not so that we feel better about ourselves or that we're able to do all these things, like look how beneficial I am to everyone around me, which I think sometimes that can be where my heart is, because I do tend to struggle with selfishness and pride a lot. So anyways, that's something that the Lord is working through me. And I just wanted to share, because I don't know, it's so good when the Holy Spirit like speaks these things to you, and when he's like pruning you and showing you, like just like opening up those doors in yourself that you've had closed and you haven't wanted to go there. Let him go there. Okay, that's my encouragement to you, is just to completely surrender everything, your thoughts, your actions, your words, your spirit, your heart, your soul, everything to the Lord, and say, you know, what is it that needs to change? Like, what can I do to be more like you? What can I do to please you more out of my love for you? So anyways, all right, I gotta wipe these tears away and go into Kroger and get some milk. So, whew, happy Saturday.
It's Amber's world full of love and grace. La, 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 la. 6 little blessings fill up the place. La, 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 la. Homeschool morning, so much to do. Laundry mountains humming a tune. When the day gets wild and life's not fair, she drops some truth in her truth chair. With Jesus guiding every part, she's a mom after God's own heart.
One of the most frustrating things ever yesterday was trying to figure out toilet paper math, like, because like some websites said like the price per 100, and then some said the price per square foot, and I sat at my computer way longer than necessary to like figure out where to buy toilet paper. So that's some first world problems for you. Hey, y'all know what we do when those automatic doors open. We thank God for another day of provision, reminding ourselves that everything that we have comes from Him and that He will never fail to provide for us. I don't remember if I've said this or not, but Saturdays are biscuit and gravy days. So hence why I needed the milk so bad. I also needed the milk so bad because all of my children drink milk like it's going out of style. And I really gotta get them stopping that because it's kind of expensive, you know? Like anybody else, children could like literally we go through a gallon of milk a day. I'm not lying. That's not an over exaggeration, but yeah. So fun times. Let's go home and make some biscuits and gravy. So if you're new around here, you may not know that I made a song about this contraption right here. So let me let you listen to it. It's great.
Got ground beef in your pan. Don't stress, now you can mash it up with total ease, with the tool that aims to please. Meat masher, it's Amber approved, crumbles beef like it's smooth.
Meat Masher, making life easier, one meal at a time. For the longest time, I shied away from making gravy because I thought it was super hard. So I would always get Keith to make it. Turns out it's actually super simple, especially when you start with a meat. And when you start with a meat that has a little bit of grease to it, but I've done it with chicken too, and chicken's a lean meat. So I guess any kind of meat, you just cook up the meat in the pan, you leave all the drippings from the meat, and then you add your flour. And then once the flour is has soaked up all the grease and stuff, then you just slowly add milk and stir it, and you keep it on the same heat the entire time. Once it's the thickness that you like, then you're good. So simple, so simple. Wasted almost 40 years of my life without this knowledge. Granted, I wouldn't have been making gravy between the ages of like 0 and 18 anyways. So I've wasted half of my life. Okay, you guys, I almost made a huge mistake. I just came over here and grabbed this bag thinking it was flour, and I almost put sugar in my gravy. Yeah, that would have not been good. So the gravy is done. Now it's time to get some scrambled eggs going. So I've got to get my professional egg cracker in here.
Patty.